St. Thomas, a big winner earlier this evening as they knocked off Manchester by a final of 73-41. So just the fourth meeting ever between Carthage and the Bells of St. Mary's. The Lady Reds coming off a very successful trip to St. Petersburg, Florida, where they went 2-0 in the Eckerd College St. Pete Classic. They defeated Messiah College 63-48 on Friday evening, December the 19th, and handled Wells College 69-35 on Saturday, December 20th, their last game out. As I mentioned before, this is their first home game in almost a month here at the Tarble Arena. Their last game here was at the end of November against the University of Chicago. So Lady Reds looking to extend that home winning streak dating back to last year to 14 games should they get a win here tonight. And should be an exciting contest, to say the least, as the Lady Reds try and get healthy here over the last 10 days. They've been going through a little bit of a illness and injury issue over the last couple of ball games. Taylor Boardman trying to get through an ankle injury, and Aaron Quinn battling a shoulder problem over the last 2 weeks or so. So hopefully this 10-day break allowed them to get some healing to take place and to get them ready for the conference opener, which is this coming Saturday against Augustana. But here tonight, they face a St. Mary's team that comes in with a record of 3-7. They're out of South Bend, Indiana, a school of about 1,500 or so. The school itself located directly across the street from the University of Notre Dame. They play out of the MIAA, the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association Conference, a team that is 7-18 a year ago, 5-11 in the MIAA, finished 6th last year. This season, as I said, they're 3-7, 1-2 in conference play, and this is their 5th opponent out of the CCIW this season. They open up the year with games against Wheaton, North Park, and North Central, dropping all 3. And their last time out, they lost by 5 to Milliken at home out in South Bend. So this is a team very familiar to the CCIW this season. And they look to replace two-time all-conference player Shaylin Bias, who averaged 14.7 points a season ago. But they have a trio of players to keep an eye on here tonight. And it starts with Ariana Paul. Paul is their top returning scorer from a year ago. She is averaging just under 14 points per ball game, averaged 14 points per ball game a year ago. This season, she is on pace to average 15 points and 10 rebounds so far this season. She had a 32-point game against Anderson College back on the 25th of November. She also pulled down a season-high 20 rebounds in that loss earlier this season to North Central College. Krista Konopke, 11 points and 7 rebounds per game this season, and is second on the team in scoring. She scored 17 points the last 2 games out against St. Vincent of Pennsylvania and in the Milliken contest, and she also leads the team in block shots with 6 this season. She had 29 shot blocks last year. And Eleni Shea, averaging 11.6 points and 5 rebounds per ball game, and she is coming off a 9.6 rebound campaign a year ago, and again has started 34 of the last 35 ball games for the Bells, and had 19 points over Elma in the conference opener this season. As I said, these two teams have not met since the 2006 season. The Lady Reds hold a 2-1 advantage in the 3 previous matchups. So it'll be Carthage and St. Mary's here from the Tarble Arena. Again, the winner will move on to take on St. Thomas of Minnesota. The 8th-ranked Tommies knocked off Manchester earlier tonight, 73-41, to pick up their 9th straight win. So a tough test ahead for the winner of this ball game here tonight. We'll pause and take a 60 break. When we come back, we'll visit with head basketball coach Tim Bernero and get his thoughts on tonight's ball game as our pregame show continues from the Tarble Arena right after this 60 break. You are listening to Lady Reds basketball on AM 1050 WLIP. Welcome back to the Tarble Arena, everyone. Carthage Lady Reds back home after a successful road trip to St. Petersburg, Florida. Tonight they take on St. Mary's College out of South Bend, Indiana, in the second game of the Carthage Lady Reds Classic tonight. And joined now by head basketball coach Tim Bernero. And Coach, another 10-day layoff leading up to a pair of games here in a tournament format.
Yeah, it's kind of been a little bumpy schedule that way. It's just kind of how we could get the games, and we didn't want to have a long layoff going into the conference, so getting these 2 games in will help. It makes for a little bit of a hectic week because you're Monday, Tuesday, during the holidays, you forget what days of the week they are. But now, with the conference starting, we're going to play every Wednesday, Saturday. So we're Monday, Tuesday, Saturday with Augustana starting the conference here. So yeah, we've had, it seems like break 2 games, and it's what it's been for the last 2.5 weeks or so. So now we're getting, after this, tonight and tomorrow, we'll roll into a normal schedule.
A chance for your team to get healthy. A lot of the flu bug going around a little bit, little sniffles, and some injuries to try and heal up here, particularly in the post position with Taylor Boardman, and getting Aaron Quinn healthy again here going into conference.
Yeah, the usual nicks and bruises that kind of come up over the course of the season, and it happened right after we came back from our final exam break. We were able to get through the games down there, got another 4 or 5 days off for them after we got back from Florida, so they're good to go now.
So now we get a chance to be on the home court. They've extended that home court winning streak now. It's a team record, and trying to extend that forward here with a win here tonight.
Yeah, every coach in the world talks about how important it is to protect your home court. We slipped once last year against Co, and went through the conference schedule, the conference tournament, the NCAA tournament. Got lacrosse in Chicago in the only 2 games we've had so far, and now 2 tough games here. And we talked about it with the team. After all that extended time we haven't played at home since the Chicago game, which was right after Thanksgiving, we're now 4 straight home games. So that's a nice little, with the momentum we played at how we played in Florida, we'd like to carry that forward the next 2 days and get ourselves ready to start the CCIW season Saturday.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Some good mojo coming out of that tournament in St. Petersburg. I thought 2 of the better played games that your team has put together this season.
Yeah, we were really energetic. We were, bouncing around, aggressive on both ends a little bit more than we had been. We kind of, early in the season, we were trying to find our way. We kind of hit some pockets or hit some walls where we'd kind of not know what to do with ourselves. And I think we kind of played through that. We had some good starts in those games too, but I think we're a little more resilient than we've been. And, it was a great chance to prove that tonight after having some time off, and to make sure we can carry that, the momentum of how well we played down in Florida here, and then get ready, hope, maybe for a chance at a nationally ranked team tomorrow.
We talked a little bit about it at the time down in St. Petersburg, but I thought that the play of Erin Thomas starting to come around. She's been a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, in not so much the jump shooting, but taking the ball on the dribble drive to the basket.
Right, and we need everybody to be an offensive threat. She didn't score or shoot the ball at a very high percentage early in the season, and I think it bothered her a little bit. It's one of those things where I'd like to hit the reset button after about 5 games for her, just so she doesn't have to look at some of the percentages that she's shooting, because they're still below what I think she thinks she should and what we think she should be. But she's been very good the last couple games, and I think she's feeling pretty good about how she's playing, so that can do nothing but help us.
And you're getting Casey Kleiner going, shooting the ball, too. I think she's 40% from 3 in her last 6 ball games now.
Yeah, she's almost, I think, 46 or 7 for the season. So that's right in that range where we had Haley last year. And, we try to get her shots. She's looking for more shots, and that's the thing that, we don't – she's one of those kids that's such a good shooter that right now you get disappointed or angry with her a little bit when she doesn't shoot the ball, because she gets open shots. Now sometimes she's very unselfish too, and she'll try to find a play for somebody else, but there's certain times where we get her clear, and people are obviously know about her. They're going to catch on. They're not going to let her get clear too easily, so we've got to work to get her open, and we've got to make sure when she does get space, she's ready to shoot.
And the team has kind of settled into their roles a little bit here. Morgan Harris coming off the bench, giving you some very positive minutes as a freshman. And I thought, too, that Allison Riley has really adapted her role coming off the bench, more of the 6th or 7th person off the bench, but made the most of the minutes she plays coming off the bench.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. She's done a great job. She's had a couple games where she didn't shoot very well, and she usually does. But it was funny, the Messiah game, she did a decent job, but she got in foul trouble. It was like every time she turned around, it was some kind of foul on her. That was some bad fortune in that, but she played well against Wells, and she's kind of been like a hybrid for us. She's kind of inside, outside, does whatever we need her to right now. She's a senior, even though she hasn't played a lot of minutes in the games. She knows what we expect of her, and she's really grasped her role this year and done a great job.
Your opponent, the St. Mary's Bells, 3-7 coming in. They're out of the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association, the MIAA. I think they have a trio of returning players that really you have to talk about here tonight, and that is starts with Ariana Paul. Paul averaging 15 points, 10 boards so far this season. She's been outstanding. Krista Kanapke coming off with 11 points, 7 rebounds per game, and Eleni Shea, 11.6 points per game. Those three from last year carrying over their play this year.
Right, and they're a unique team. They don't shoot the three very often in a world that shoots the three like crazy. So they're a little bigger across the board. So they give you some matchup problems. They're trying to shove the ball to the basket, drive the ball to the basket. We've got to be ready to take that away from them and frustrate them with that, with a team defensive effort. And if we can do that, I think we can take them out of some of their stuff. I mean, if they get going where you'll know they're in a good way. If they can get the ball inside cleanly and pretty easily, they'll be able to get to the basket, get to the free throw line. We'd like to reduce them to being a jump shooting team and then keep them off the boards. With their size, they can be good on their offensive boards, especially.
This is their 5th game against a CCIW opponent. They've played Milliken, North Central, North Park, and Wheaton. Matter of fact, Wheaton, North Park, and North Central, their first 3 games out against CCIW opponent.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're in the MIA, but they're in South Bend, so they're closer to us than they are some of the people in going back toward their league. We've played them a couple times. I think it seems like it's not that far. I mean, obviously we've gone further. We've gone to Loris and Co. and those places are way further than going to South Bend. So we try to get them on the schedule when we can and when it fits their schedule. And this year it must have been a thought that everybody else in our conference thought would be a good game to play, especially the teams in the Chicago area. They're not too far. They're less than a little more than an hour away, I would guess.
Well, it brings us to our Blueprints for Success tonight, sponsored by Riley Construction Incorporated. How do you have it drawn up here tonight?
We want to make it hard for them to get the ball into the post, by pressure the people that are passing it and front the people and keep the ball away from the people in there, because if we can make that difficult, we can probably get some turnovers out of it and get our offense jump-started. And if we can keep them from getting easy opportunities, just like any other team, I think that'll make it that'll give us a benefit there. And if we stop them, I think we'll be able to do some things offensively.
Our Blueprints for Success brought to you by Riley Construction. Let them make your job easier. Member of the U.S. Green Building Council and a proud partner of Carthage College Athletics. Tim, let's extend that home winning streak tonight.
Thanks, John.
Tim Bernero, head basketball coach for the Carthage Lady Reds as they get set to take on St. Mary's College out of South Bend, Indiana. We'll have the tip-off and the start of tonight's ball game right after this on AM 1050 WLIP.
John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Home sweet home for the Lady Reds. First time in nearly a month Lady Reds have played on their home floor. They get set to take on St. Mary's out of Notre Dame, Indiana, and 3-7 the Bells come in. Carthage with a record of 6-3, looking to wrap up the non-conference portion of their season here over the next 2 days. As I said, the winner of this game will move on to face 8th-ranked St. Thomas of Minnesota that absolutely blew Manchester out of the water tonight. 73-41 the final in that one, as the Tommies were led by Jenna Doctor, their outstanding guard. 16 points tonight for Doctor, 7 of 10 from the floor. 12 points for Maddie Wolkel coming off the bench for the Tommies. They got everybody in, including Kate Andrucci out of Prairie School in Racine, a freshman. She finished with 5 points tonight for the St. Thomas Tommies, who go to 9-0 on the year. For Manchester, they were led by Alyssa Hammond with 9 points. Not one player in double figures for Manchester tonight, as the Spartans were limited to just 32% shooting. Meanwhile, the Tommies shot 54% for the ball game. They out-rebounded the Spartans 36-25 in that contest ahead of us. So the winner of this game will take on St. Thomas tomorrow at 4 o'clock. The consolation game at 2 tomorrow will feature the loser of this game tonight against Manchester tomorrow afternoon. Right back here at the Tarble Arena. Again, free admission for the game here tonight as well as tomorrow's games. So if you're out and about here on the holiday break looking for some family activities, come on down to the Tarble Arena. Plenty of room for you to enjoy some exciting Division III women's basketball. Getting set for our starting lineups tonight, and we'll have those for you here in a moment. I want to also pass along this reminder. The conference opener is this Saturday when the Lady Reds in Redmond open up CCIW play. A time change for those games. The games will get underway starting at 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon for the women and a 4 o'clock tip for the men. So if you're coming out Saturday for those games, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock for the conference openers. Let's head down to Adam King, the PA announcer here at Carthage College, with our starting lineups.
With a record of 3-7, and your Carthage Lady Reds with a record of 6-3. Let's meet the Bells. A 5'2" junior guard out of North Wales, Pennsylvania, number 12, Maddie Kohler. A 5'10" junior forward out of Clayton, Ohio, number 30, Krista Kanapke. A 6-foot freshman forward out of Chicago, Illinois, wearing number 35, Gabby Diamond. A 6-foot junior forward out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 40, Eleni Shea. And a 5'10" senior guard out of Valparaiso, Indiana, number 42, Ariana Paul. The head coach for the Bells is Jennifer Henley. Are you ready? And now let's get the starting lineup for your Carthage Lady Reds. At guard, a 5'6" senior from Richmond Burton High School, from Spring Grove, Illinois, number 11, Aaron Thomas. At forward, a 6'1" junior from Lincoln Way North High School, from Frankfort, Illinois, number 10, Taylor Boardman. At forward, a 6-foot junior from Roselle Lake Park High School, from Itasca, Illinois, number 3, Alexis Horn. At guard, a 5'6" senior from Shoreland Lutheran, out of South Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 20, Casey Kleiner. And at guard, a 5'8" senior from Mundelein Carmel Catholic High School, from Island Lake, Illinois, number 12, Aaron Quinn. Your Lady Reds head coach is Tim Bernero. He's assisted by Maggie McCloskey.
So we're set for some basketball tonight from the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Lady Reds getting set to take on the Bells of St. Mary's. Save your Bing Crosby jokes for later. It'll be Kohler, Kanapke, Diamond, Shea, and Paul for the Bells. Alexis Hahn, Taylor Boardman, Aaron Thomas, Aaron Quinn, and Casey Kleiner on the floor for the Lady Reds. Kleiner, 47% from three-point range this year. And Thomas coming on, averaged 11 points in the 2 games down at St. Petersburg, Florida. Our officials tonight, Mark Rapinski, Abby Bickle, and David Birkin. Set to jump center, Kanapke for St. Mary's, Boardman for the Lady Reds. Lady Reds in the white home uniforms, white jerseys, white shorts trimmed out in red and black. St. Mary's Bells navy blue jerseys, navy blue shorts trimmed out in white and gray. And the opening tip brought down by Boardman. Lady Reds will take control. They'll move it left to right as we view it here from the beautiful Tarble Arena on the campus of Carthage College in Kenosha. Man-to-man defense here early on for the Bells. Kleiner with it high on the right wing. Works it off to Thomas. Deep three, straight on. Barely drew iron. Rebound angled into the corner. Picked up by Kanapke. The Bells will bring it down. They get it set quickly. Driving in from the left wing, Ariana Paul. And we got a whistle and a foul on the Lady Reds. Aaron Quinn picking up the foul, 5'8" senior out of Island Lake, Illinois. On the dribble drive that time from Ariana Paul to the basket. Bells will inbound. They get it in the hands of their point guard, Maddie Kohler. Kohler will work the dribble over to the right wing. Up top, man-to-man defense here for the Lady Reds. And we got a whistle and a moving screen violation and a foul called on the Bells. Stepping out to cut off the Casey Kleiner that time was Krista Kanapke. And Kanapke picking up the foul her first. So each team with a foul early on. No score. First minute of play. Thomas will work it off to Kleiner on the right wing. Up top to Boardman. Reversing left side to Quinn. Quinn back to Thomas. Thomas now with the dribble below the arc. Back out to Kleiner. Fires the three and hits. Casey Kleiner, top of the circle three that time. She has been red hot shooting the three ball this season. Better than 47% from behind the arc this year. Early 3-0 lead for the Lady Reds. With it now on the drive, cut off at the baseline by Boardman. That time was Diamond. And we got a drive to the basket and the contact before the shot. Alexis Hahn making contact with Ariana Paul, and Paul will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Team's leading score, 15 points. And we got a lane violation already. Paul losing control, trying to bring that ball up. So what would be 2 shots is now 1 shot for Ariana Paul. And she hits the free throw. 3-1 Lady Reds. Never seen that before. The player losing control of the basketball at the free throw line, creating the violation. We have a 3-2 zone here now for the Bells. They get it to Boardman, back outside to Quinn. Quinn penetrates, kicks it back to Kleiner, back to Quinn, rolls it inside to Hahn. Hahn from the right block, back up top to Kleiner, to Boardman, back out to Quinn for 3. Back iron, no. Hustling for the rebound, though. Casey Kleiner able to flag it down on the right wing. Kleiner back over to Thomas as the Lady Reds reset. Kleiner for 3, right wing, good. 2 for 2 from downtown for Casey Kleiner, the senior out of Shoreland Lutheran High School. 2 minutes in, 6-1 Lady Reds. Well, she struggled early with her three-point shot. We got a whistle away from the play, inside contact between Hahn and Kanapke, and Hahn picks up her second personal foul. And they'll get Allison Riley in right away here for the Lady Reds. Riley, the 5'9 senior out of Cudahy, spelling Alexis Hahn early. So Hahn down on the bench with 2 fouls through the first 2+ minutes. Bells will get it in up top. Maddie Kohler with it now, working the basketball. Off to Shea. Swings it over left side. Paul with it now. Inside to Shea. Shea fires it off. No good. Aaron Thomas able to clear the rebound and work the dribble across midcourt for the Lady Reds. Reds up by 5 here, 2.5 minutes in. Thomas now off to Quinn, high on the right. Works it over to Riley. Riley double team, swings it to Kleiner. Kleiner 2 for 2 from 3-point range earlier. Now works it off to Quinn. Quinn gave up the dribble, needs help, finds Thomas with 5 on the shot clock. Thomas penetrates to Boardman, back to Quinn. She'll drive. Quinn will go to the basket, lay it up and in as the shot clock expired. Boardman with a nice feed that time in the low post, back out to Quinn, and she drove down hard through the right lane for the layup. 8-1 Lady Reds. Now steal as Riley able to knock it away inside from Kanapke. Quinn with it. Gets it out to Kleiner to Riley, works it around to Thomas. Driving in from the right side, back to Boardman, left of the free throw line. Gives it off to Quinn, back out to Thomas for 3. That's an air ball miss out of bounds. Well, she has really struggled from the perimeter this year, Thomas. We talked about her performance down in Florida. Really, it was her aggressiveness driving the basket that led to her points in both games against Messiah and Wells. And her three-point shooting just has not been there. 9 for 40 now outside the arc so far this year. Bells will set it up offensively, trailing by 7. Kohler trying to get it up top. The ball will go through the hands and out of bounds. Lainey Shea that time had it go through her hands out of bounds in front of the Lady Reds bench. It's one area that the Bells have struggled with, and that has been turnovers. Now Boardman underneath on a beautiful feed, lays it up and in. Boardman getting that nice feed from Riley that time. 10-1 run here for the Lady Reds early. Now Shea with it, high in the left wing, takes the drive through the top of the circle, dumps it off to Paul. Paul tried to force it inside to Kanapke, and it's taken away. It's poked away by Thomas, and Quinn came away with it for the Lady Reds. Now Thomas back across midcourt. Gets it to Riley, and Riley on the dribble drive. The hand check foul as she started her drive from the top of the key. It'll go on Diamond. Bobby Diamond with the foul, her first. Second on the team. Lady Reds will inbound in front of the Bells bench here, leading by a score of 10-1. 15:25 to go in our first half. And the winner of this game faces St. Thomas tomorrow night. We got a foul down low, and the foul will be committed by Paul. That is her first. Third on the team. Each team now with 3 team fouls. Lady Reds will inbound left to the basket. We got a foul on the inbound. And it's going to go on the Bells. It'll go on Konopke. That's her second. So now she will exit with a couple of quick fouls here. Kelsey Ronan will check in now, the 6-foot sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana for the Bells. Reds will inbound up top, gets it to Kleiner. Over to Quinn, now back to Riley. Riley, nice over the top feed to Boardman, lays it up and in. Second assist, second bucket by Boardman. The credit Riley with a nice over the top feed to Boardman. Boardman with 4 points. 12-1 run here for the Lady Reds, and Quinn nearly got a steal up top, taking it out nearly away from Maddie Kohler. Paul with it now, top of the circle, lost control of it and taken away by Quinn. Hands it off to Thomas. 3-on-2 the other way. Riley through the basket, underneath the basket I should say, lost control of it and taken away by Eleni Shea. Back come the Bells. They'll set it up. Maddie Kohler now between the rings. Kohler working the dribble. Thomas giving her some room. Bounce feed. Gets it in the hands of Ronan. Ronan to Paul. Paul's jump shot short. An air ball underneath picked up by Boardman. Lady Reds will push it up the floor. 12-1 Carthage. 14:20 to go here in the first half. Riley now. Nice backdoor bounce feed to Quinn. Quinn shuffles it off to Boardman, and she'll finish down low. Taylor Boardman, 3 for 3 from the floor. She has 6 points and a timeout taken by the Bells. 14-1 run here for the Lady Reds through the first 6 minutes. It's a full timeout. We'll take a break as well. 14:08 to go here in the first half. A 14-1 lead for the Lady Reds on 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. A 14-1 run here for the Lady Reds through the first 6 minutes, and they lead it 14-1. One other final from earlier today in the CCIW in women's play. Baruch College defeated Illinois Wesleyan 63-57. Back-to-back losses in the New Jersey tournament for Illinois Wesleyan. They finished the non-conference season at 6-5 on the year. 10 seconds to shoot here for the Bells of St. Mary's. They're working around near wing. With it is Diamond. She loses control of it as Alexis Hahn checks back in here for the Lady Reds. She's in there along with Ashley Cunningham for Carthage. Thomas now with a dribble on the right wing. Back out to Kleiner for 3. Got it. Casey Kleiner, 3 for 3 from long distance so far tonight. She has 9 points to lead all scorers, and it's a 17-1 lead for the Lady Reds. Kohler now works it off right wing to Paul. Down low to Diamond on the right side. Diamond will take the dribble back up top. They work it around to Paul once again. She'll fire the jumper and hits. Ariana Paul, 3 points tonight. The senior out of Valparaiso, Indiana. Team's leading scorer, averaging 15 points per game. That's her 3rd point tonight. 17-3 Lady Reds. Thomas now between the circles with the dribble. Zone defense here for the Bells. Thomas with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Kleiner, and she'll get it off just as the horns sound. And they will call it a shot clock violation as it came up short. The Reds lost track there. I think Thomas lost track of the shot clock there. She got trapped in the corner on the left side and then was trying to find an open player, but got it to Kleiner, but it was late getting there, and Kleiner just kind of shoveled it toward the basket, and it never got to the rim as the horn sounded. Bells will set it up here, trailing by 14. Kohler with it. Works it off to Paul. Right of the free throw line jumper. Good. Ariana Paul in her last 2 shots now. She's got 5 to lead her team. She's got all 5 of the Bell's points. In there now for the Lady Reds, Morgan Harris, a freshman at the point guard. She give it off. Riley, Allison Riley missing. Hahn going up for a rebound, and she went over the back and picks up her 3rd. Alexis Hahn with 3 fouls here through the first 8+ minutes of this first half, and she'll return to the bench as Taylor Boardman will check in for her. Not what you wanted here tonight. Alexis Hahn, you have 3 quick fouls here. Bells will set it up, trailing by 12. Paul, Ariana Paul with it now. Left side, works it back up top to Shea. Shea top of the circle. Ronan tried to force it inside. The pass was broken up by Thomas. She'll take it down. And we'll circle back and reload here for the Lady Reds. Riley with it, tried to force it into Boardman, was broken up out of bounds. And they say Boardman will last to touch it. So it goes off of Boardman out of bounds. Turnover, Lady Reds. So St. Mary's will bring it up full length. It's just the 2nd turnover committed by the Lady Reds here in the half. Timothy Moyer in now for the Bells as we got a foul underneath. It's going to go on Ashley Cunningham. Check that, it's going to be on Morgan Harris. Harris with the foul, her first. 5th on the Lady Reds as St. Mary's will put it in play. Kohler back up top. Jumper taken there by Diamond is no good. And the rebound deflects out to Harris. Harris will bring it down. Morgan Harris now at the center circle. Works it off right wing to Riley. Allison Riley with the left-hand drive. Goes to the basket. Throws it up too strong. Ball tipped back out. It's picked up by the Bells. Gabi Diamond with it. Hands it off to Maddie Kohler. Now swings it off to Timothy Moyer. Moyer with it, top of the circle. Now forces it inside, low left. Shea turnaround shot short, rebound Boardman. And she'll clear it out to Morgan Harris. Harris now on the drive, through the top of the circle, back out to Thomas for a long 3 and hits off the left wing. Aaron Thomas with her first points tonight. This one a triple from the left wing deep behind the arc. And Lady Reds increase their lead to 20-5 midway through our first half. Shea with it, guarded by Riley. Works it off near wing to Moyer. Moyer on the left side, guarded by Harris. Harris staying with her. Forcing her outside the arc, gave up the dribble, now swings it up top. Shea on the drive to the basket, overlays. Harris with the rebound. Harris now across midcourt on the drive, finds Thomas on the right wing. Both players hit the deck there, Harris and Shea for the Bells, but then Riley able to take it to the basket, lay it up and in. First 2 points of the night for the senior out of Cudahy. 22-5, Lady Reds with the lead. Gave up the dribble and a 5-second count, and we got a foul. Oh, bailed out on a foul call there. Ooh, not sure about that one. Aaron Thomas picking up the foul. Mark Rapinski on the call there, and not sure about that one. Sixth team foul on the Lady Reds as the Bells will inbound at midcourt. Heather Pessigan in now, working point for the Bells. Timothy Moyer now dribbles out of the right corner. Down through the lane, throws up with the left hand, too strong off the glass. Boardman able to clear it out for Carthage. Harris now will handle it across midcourt. 8:45 to go here in our first half. A 22-5 Lady Red lead. Cunningham, nice feed to Boardman through the paint, lays it in and off the glass. Taylor Boardman, 4 for 4 from the floor. 8 points tonight for Boardman. And the Reds build out a 19-point lead. They try and work it inside. We got a whistle and a foul called on Boardman now. I'm not sure about that one either. Boardman with the foul. That is her first. Was not much contact there. So Boardman picks up the foul, her first. That's the 7th team foul on the Lady Reds. So bonus free throws now for St. Mary's. And the free throw up and good for Eleni Shea. Shea averaging just over 11 points per game and 5 rebounds per contest. And makes both free throws. First 2 points for Shea tonight. 24-7 Lady Reds, 8:20 to go in our first half. And the pass broken up, intended for Kleiner in the left corner. Broken up nicely by Timoni Moyer. Reds will inbound from there. Kleiner will handle it. Back out to Quinn. Works it around to Harris. Back up top to Kleiner. To Harris in the left corner once again. Cross court right side to Quinn. Now down low to Cunningham. Cunningham collided with a defender. Missed the shot. Rebound, and the stick back goes in for Taylor Boardman. Cunningham missed the initial shot going up. Got bumped off. They let that one go. And the rebound trickled off to the left, picked up by Boardman. Her stick back goes down. Boardman, a perfect 5 for 5 from the field, will go to the line to complete the three-point play. And that one rattles out, no good. Quinn lost it. No, they say the last touch by the bell, and they changed the call here. Mark Rapinski originally signaled it was going to go back to the Lady Reds, but it was clearly off the hand of Quinn, and he quickly corrected himself. 26-7, Lady Reds with the lead here. Under 8 minutes to go in our first half. Game somewhat similar to that Saturday evening tilt a week ago. And we got a foul inside. Cunningham getting tangled up inside with Kelsey Ronan, and Cunningham picking up the foul. That's the 8th team foul on the Lady Reds. Not so sure. They're very nickel dime in my book as far as the calls are going here. There's not much contact at all. And Rapinski explaining things over to Tim Bernero as to why he called that foul. Shea back at the line where she is 3 for 3, making the front end here. Ariana Paul back in now, replacing Ronan for the Bells. One more free throw for Shea. And she is 4 for 4 from the line as she hits that one. All 4 of her points coming from the stripe. 26-9, Lady Reds with the lead. 7:35 remaining first half. Morgan Harris on the drive to the free throw line. Feeds underneath the Cunningham. Got away with a walk, and then we got a 3-second violation on Cunningham. Originally traveled with it, but they let that go and camped out in the lane once she got rid of it. Called for the 3-second violation. Molly Robinson will check in for the first time tonight for the Bells. Molly Robinson, a freshman out of Wheaton, Illinois. Has some friends and family here tonight. Out of Kankakee Aquinas Catholic Academy. 26-9, Lady Reds. Going strong to the basket, drawing the foul was Shea, and once again Shea back at the free throw line. Riley picking up the foul, her first. 9th team foul on the Lady Reds, and once again Shea back at the free throw line. And her first miss, and the first miss by St. Mary's at the stripe.
Interior Lady Reds lineup, number 23, Vukovic.
Get our first look at Morgan Vukovic tonight for the Lady Reds. Vukovic, the 6'1 freshman out of Mukwonago High School. As Shea makes the back end, 1 for 2 that trip. Shea with 5 points tonight. 26-10, Reds in front here. They've kind of slowed down here a little bit. As Vukovic with the basketball fouled right of the free throw line. As she got that pass in from Morgan Harris. And immediately fouled on the play by Heather Pasegan. 6th team foul on the Bells as Harris will inbound right of the basket. Gets it to Kleiner. She'll fire for 3 right away, and that one rattles around and down. Casey Kleiner, perfect from three-point range tonight. 4 for 4 from outside the arc for her 12 points. We got a traveling violation on the Bells coming back the other way. Another turnover, the 8th committed by St. Mary's here in the half. 29-10, Reds in front here, 6:40 remaining. Riley got away with a walk. She shuffled her feet there before putting it down. Hands it off to Kleiner. Kleiner between the circles, works it back to Riley. Riley up top to Cunningham, right side Harris. Harris back to Kleiner, again for three, back iron miss. Rebound though, pulled down by Riley, who was knocked to the floor and fouled on the play. Timothy Moyer with the foul. That is her first, 7th team foul on the Bells. That will put Riley on the line shooting 1-1. Aaron Thomas will check back in for the Lady Reds, replacing Morgan Harris. Harris, another strong job defensively for the Lady Reds. So Riley at the line for the 1-1. Averaging just over 3 points per game, missing the front end, but Cunningham gets the offensive board, goes back up with it too strong, got her own rebound, dribbles out of traffic and tosses it off to Thomas on the left wing. Good hustle on the play by Cunningham to keep the possession here. Cunningham again through the lane, collides with a player and was fouled. She started her drive down the paint that time, and Pessigan with the foul, her second. That is her second, 8th team foul. This will put Cunningham on the line. Just her 8th trip to the line this season for Cunningham. Rattles around and down. Cunningham averaging just under 9 minutes per game for the Lady Reds, has appeared now in all 10 ball games. Second free throw miss, and the rebound pulled down by the Bells. Paul on the rebound that time. 30-10, Lady Reds. As I said, this has the makings of that first half against Wells College, as Lady Reds opened up a 42-9 advantage there. Ariana Paul able to hit the short jumper for the Bells. Paul now with 7 of her team's 12 points. 5:40 to go here in the half. Reds in control. Kleiner out of the left corner, elects to pass up the shot, takes a dribble back up top. Gets it off to Riley, back to Kleiner on the left wing. Now to Thomas around the right side to Riley. Back to Thomas, working the left side dribble to Kleiner out of the corner. Step back three on the way, curls off, no. Battle for the loose ball, picked up by Paul. Ariana Paul with the second defensive rebound in a row for the Bells. Will hand it off to her point guard Kohler. Kohler working the dribble between the rings, gave it up, now finds Paul on the left wing. Ariana Paul, cross-court feed right side Shea. Shea double team, back out to Maddie Kohler. Three-pointer on the way, and that one's no good. Rebound pulled down by Thomas. Moyer with that three-point shot. We talked about it in the pregame. This is a team that is averaging just 4 three-point attempts per game. They've made only 5 all season, and Kleiner able to knock down her 5th of the ball game. Casey Kleiner on fire from long distance. 5 for 7 now, 15 points for Kleiner. 33-12, Lady Reds in front. 4:20 to go here in our first half. Now they try and work it inside, and the foul by Riley, as getting position on the block that time on the left side was Eleni Shea. So Shea back at the free throw line, where she is 5 for 6 tonight. Riley picking up her second foul. Double bonus now the rest of the way out for the Bells. And Shea able to knock down the free throw. She is 6 out of 7 tonight from the stripe. Diamond will check back in, replacing Robinson for the Bells. Cunningham goes out. Aaron Quinn back in for the Lady Reds. Shea makes them both. 33-14. Reds in front here. Thomas will work the point for Carthage. Brings it across midcourt to Quinn. Left corner it goes to Kleiner. Casey Kleiner around to Quinn, reversing right side to Thomas. Kind of a 3-2 zone look here once again for the Bells. Quinn, bounce feed to Kleiner in the corner. Back to Quinn. Quinn drives the lane, lost control, picked it back up, shoveled it off to Vukovic, clears it out to Riley, drives in left side, going glass, banks it in. Almost a turnover by Quinn that time as she kind of lost control of the dribble in the paint, found Vukovic, who got it back to Riley, who was able to finish low left. 35-14, Reds in front. Now Shea traveled with the basketball on her way to the basket. Took the extra step trying to get to the right side and draw the contact, committing the 9th turnover by the Bells here in this first half. 3.5 minutes to go here in our first half. 35-14, Lady Reds in front. Thomas now off to Quinn, high in the left wing. Gets it off to Riley, now back to Kleiner. Kleiner with a crossover dribble around to Thomas. Thomas diving hard to the basket, laid it short but drew the foul. Kohler picking up the foul on Thomas on her way to the basket, a 2-shot foul, so Thomas will go to the free throw line for the Lady Reds. Talked about Thomas. Averaged 11 points in the 2 games down in Florida. Becoming a little bit more aggressive with the drive to the basket. Makes the front end, 71% from the stripe this year, able to knock down both. 37-14, 5 points on the night now for Aaron Thomas. Under 3 remaining. Moyer with it, up top to Paul. Ariana Paul gave up the dribble, nearly walked with it as she got the pass off on the left block to Moyer, whose shot was an air ball miss. Riley able to clear it out for the Lady Reds. Thomas now, top of the circle, works it off to Quinn on the right wing. Quinn back up top to Riley, around the left side to Kleiner. Casey guarded hard by Paul, works it into Vukovic, turnaround shot. Vukovic drew the foul. Strong move to the basket that time by Morgan Vukovic. And that will put the freshman on the line for the Lady Reds. Vukovic in just her 4th game of the season. Missed some time, had bout with mono early in the season. Just now getting back into game condition here for the Lady Reds. As she makes the front end of 2. Out of Mukwonago High School. Drops down both. Vukovic 2 for 2, 39-14, Reds in front, 2:25 to go, first half. Kohler with it, top of the circle. They reverse it around left side. Driving out of the corner, Paul throws up a one-hander, no good. Thomas with the rebound underneath for the Lady Reds. Trying to get out of traffic. We got a body foul on Kohler that time as she and Paul double-teaming Thomas. Trying to dribble out of the traffic that time was Thomas, and it was Kohler committing the foul. Her second. Team foul number 10, so 2 free throws once again for Aaron Thomas. As we said, 71% from the stripe this year. And that one rattles out no good. Nice to see the Weiser jinx in progress once again this year. Got to learn to stop doing that. She missed them both. Rebound, Ariana Paul. 39-14, 2 minutes to go here in our first half. Got to shake that jinx somehow. I don't know how to do that. Get some ideas on how to do that. As inside, Ronan able to lay it up and in. First 2 points of the night for Kelsey Ronan. 39-16, Reds in front here. Quinn working it off to Thomas. Works it out to Quinn on the right wing. Back up top to Thomas, drives the paint, feeds it off to Vukovic. 12-foot jumper left baseline, good for Morgan Vukovic. Vukovic showing a little bit of athleticism with that 12-foot jumper off the baseline. 4 points tonight for Vukovic, 41-16. Now they work it inside. Turnaround shot in the paint, taken that time by Diamond, no good. Rebound Quinn. Carthage owning the glass here tonight against St. Mary's. 15-9 advantage on the glass. Under a minute to go now in the first half. Thomas on the drive to the basket, lays it up and in. That's what I was talking about. Kind of sits out there on the wing, pounding the rock, and then all of a sudden, like the gates open, and she just drives right down the baseline for the layup. 7 points tonight from Morgan Thomas. 43-16, Reds in control here. On the drive, left side, Shea, off balance shot goes down. Shea with 7 points tonight. Make that 9 points for Shea. Shot clock dark here. Morgan Harris with the basketball, 15 seconds to go in the half. Harris lost control of it, trying to drive the paint. It's picked up by the Bells. Bells will get the final shot here, 7 seconds to go. Kohler spinning around, gets it off to Ariana Paul, just inside the arc, and it goes out of bounds as time expires here in our first half. A fine first half put on by the Lady Reds. They jump out to a 17-1 lead and control it here at the half, 43-18. 43-18, Reds in front. We'll pause, take a 2-minute break. Back to talk about our first half right after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to Carthage Lady Reds basketball on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Home sweet home for the Lady Reds, and they take advantage here, leading at the half by a score of 43-18 as the Reds, the first 6.5 minutes, jumped on the Bells on a 17-1 run through the first 6.5 minutes. It was the Casey Kleiner-Taylor Boardman combination as they combined for 15 of those 17 points. Kleiner from behind the three-point arc hit 3 three-pointers in that span. Boardman with 3 layups in that span, and really blew the Bells out of the water here early on, and the Bells able to make it a little bit more respectable here at the half by a score of 43-18 as the Reds in command right from the opening tip, holding the Bells to just 29% shooting in that first half. Bells just 5 of 17 from the floor, but they were 8 of 9 from the free throw line in that first half. The Lady Reds 64% shooting, 16 of 25, 6 of 12 from behind the arc, and 5 of 10 from the free throw line. Lady Reds controlling the glass as well, out-rebounding the Bells by a 16-9 margin. Reds getting 13 points off of turnovers and 6 second chance points, and outscore St. Mary's off the bench 9-2 and have led from the get-go here through the first 20 minutes. Casey Kleiner continues her hot shooting. Coming into the ball game tonight, Kleiner was 47% from behind the arc. Tonight she's 5 of 7 from behind the arc for 15 points to lead all scorers. Taylor Boardman equally as hot. Boardman 5 for 5 from the floor, all of those coming in the 0-foot range. They were all layups from either left or right of the basket. Boardman with 10 points. The only 2 players in double figures are Kleiner and Boardman, 15 and 10 apiece. Morgan Vukovic coming off the bench with 4 points tonight in her play, hitting a field goal and a pair of free throws so far tonight. Aaron Thomas with 7 points, 2 of 4 from the floor, including a three-pointer. Thomas with 5 assists to go with her 7 points in 17 minutes of play. As we mentioned, Vukovic with 4, Allison Riley with 4, 2 points for Aaron Quinn, Ashley Cunningham with a point. Alexis Hahn, early foul trouble, picked up 3 personal fouls, only played 4 minutes here in this first half, and spent the majority of the time on the bench with that 3rd personal with just over 12 minutes to go here in this first half. So quiet night for Hahn. As we said, the Reds go 64% from the floor, 16 for 25, 6 of 12 from three-point range, and 5 of 10 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, they hold the St. Mary's Bells to just 29% from the floor, 5 of 17. They do not attempt a three-point shot in that first half. Not surprising. As I said, in 10 games, This is a team that averages only 4 3-point attempts per game, so not surprising there. However, they are getting to the line, 8 of 9 in the first half at the line. Elaney Shea leads their team in scoring with 9 points tonight. Shea just 1 of 4 from the floor, but 7 of 8 from the stripe for her 9 points tonight. Ariana Paul, the team's leading scorer, averaging 15 points a game. She's halfway there, 3 of 7 from the floor and also a free throw for her 7 points tonight, the leading scorers for the Bells. Kelsey Ronan with 2. The rest, goose eggs across the board. Maddie Kohler, Krista Konopke, Gabby Diamond, Timothy Moyer, Heather Hessigan, Megan Shea, and Molly Robinson all held scoreless in that first half by the Lady Reds. Reds controlling the glass as well, out-rebounding the Bells 16-9 in the first half. St. Mary's with just 1 offensive rebound. That was by Kelsey Ronan. Otherwise, the Reds have dominated here on the glass. Carthage getting 5 offensive boards. And a leading rebounder for the Reds in that first half, Taylor Boardman with 4. Carthage with only 5 turnovers. That compares with 9 for the Bells here in this first half. Only 2 assists by the St. Mary's team here in the first half. Carthage with 10 assists on their 16 made baskets. 5 of those coming by Aaron Thomas, the starting point guard for the Reds tonight. So the Lady Reds in command here through one half of play. 43-18 your score. A couple of other games going on. One other game, I should say, going on tonight involving a CCIW team, and that is Augustana at Loras tonight. One final from earlier this afternoon. And that was Illinois Wesleyan women. They were in action this afternoon as they were taking part in a tournament out in New Jersey, and in the consolation game of that Montclair State Holiday Tournament, it was Baruch College defeating Illinois Wesleyan 63-57. So Wesleyan is idle now until conference play on Saturday, so they conclude their non-conference schedule at 6-5 on the non-conference schedule. Augustana in action at Loras tonight. And in that ball game, tipped off about the same time as the Lady Reds game, it's Loras with a halftime lead, 33-22 over the Augustana women, as Augustana looking to wrap up its non-conference season. Loras will have one more whack at a CCIW team, and that will be at Wheaton on December 31st. But the Dewhawks leading Augustana now by a score of 33-22, that game at the half. One other score of note, it was Dubuque defeating UW-Whitewater this afternoon. The Whitewater women go down to Dubuque by a score of 65-57. Taking a look at the CCIW standings coming into play here tonight, it's North Central with a 10-0 record, and the North Central Cardinals will finish up their non-conference season tomorrow night at Eureka College, and they will open up play hosting Illinois Wesleyan on Saturday, January 3rd. But the standings coming into the game here tonight show North Central at 10-0, Wheaton at 9-1. Wheaton will have one more non-conference game, and that will be hosting Loras on New Year's Eve. Milliken 8-2, North Park 7-3, Carthage at 6-3, Elmhurst at 6-4, and with the loss today by Illinois Wesleyan, they fall to 6-5, and Augustana at 5-4 coming into play here today. Augie will have one more game on New Year's Eve, hosting Monmouth to wrap up their non-conference schedule. But that is the look at the standings, and North Central, and again, that system-style basketball that they play, much like Grinnell, they lead all of Division III in points per game, averaging over 100 points per contest. They average They lead the nation in 3-point field goals attempted, 3-point field goals made so far this season. So they are going to be someone to reckon with here early on in the CCIW conference schedule. So they're off to a 10-0 start. Wheaton at 9-1, Milliken at 8-2, and North Park 7-3, with Carthage right there at 6-3 coming into play here tonight. It will be an interesting schedule for the Lady Reds. They'll open up at home Saturday against Augustana and a home game against North Park before traveling to Illinois Wesleyan on Saturday the 10th of January. So should be an interesting conference season on the women's side. I don't think there's a clear-cut, decisive team in the CCIW that you can point to and say they definitely are the team to beat in the league. I think it's going to be a competitive to the point that I think on the women's side, I think 7-7 will lock you into the top 4 and advance into the conference tournament at the end of the year. That's how balanced this league is. I'm thinking a 10-4 team probably wins the league this year. I don't think there's going to be that domination we've seen over the last couple of years between Carthage and Illinois Wesleyan prior to Carthage's recent dominant play in the CCIW. So I think that's going to go down 10-4 probably wins the league, I think, on the women's side this year. That's how balanced I think the women's programs are in the CCIW. Same on the men's side. I think I see Augustana as the team to beat on the men's side going into conference play without a doubt. I think Augie is one of the teams that will be right there. I think you have to throw Illinois Wesleyan into the mix, and somehow North Central men, they're getting it done as well. And but again, I'm thinking for the men's side, you may see a 6-8 team make the conference tournament in that 4th spot. That's how balanced the men's side is, and I think how top-heavy. I think you're going to have Augustana and Wesleyan at the top, and then it's a scramble between the 6 other teams to finish 3 and 4. I don't think you can point and say one team or another is definitely out of the tournament running. I think once you get past Augie and Illinois Wesleyan on the men's side, it's up for grabs for those final 2 spots. It's going to come down to the last week of the season, I think, to secure 3 of those 4 spots in the conference tournament. But all that's so far down the road. We haven't even exited the month of December yet. So that's just speculation here, as we still have 60 minutes of non-conference left to play here for the Reds. And of course the Redmen with one more non-conference game on the docket Wednesday afternoon up at UW Oshkosh. We'll have that game for you here on 1050 WLIP beginning at 12:45 New Year's Eve this coming Wednesday, when the Redmen travel to Oshkosh to take on the Titans of UW Oshkosh, wrapping up their 10-game non-conference prior to the conference season starting on Saturday. And again, a reminder, Saturday's games have been moved up. So if you're coming out to watch the Redmen and Lady Reds this coming Saturday in the conference home opener, those games will get underway starting at 2 o'clock for the women and 4 o'clock for the men. So you want to get here early on Saturday, secure a good seat here at the Tarble Arena. Again, it's general admission seating here at the Tarble Arena, so you want to get here early, take advantage of the early arrival, and get a good seat on what is becoming one of the better venues in all of Division III basketball. I've been around a few in my 13 years behind the mic here, and I got to tell you, this is one of the more exciting places for atmosphere for a game that you'll find at the Division III level in the NCAA. Kohler, Konopke, Diamond, Shea, and Paul for St. Mary's to start this second half. Hahn, Boardman, Thomas, Quinn, and Kleiner for the Lady Reds. Hahn with 3 fouls in 4 minutes of play in that first half. Bells will get the ball to start our second half, and we are underway. Reds with a 43-18 advantage through the first 20 minutes. Paul pull-up jumper at the free throw line, then angles off to the left. Rebound pulled in by Kleiner. She'll hand it off to Thomas. Lady Reds basketball tonight on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050, WLIP Kenosha. John Weiser with you. As the Reds looking for win number 7, looking to extend their home winning streak to 14. Over the top feed to Boardman down low, got held up underneath. A jump ball situation on the held ball. Good defensive effort by Shea that time to tie Boardman up. Going up for that shot. Reds will retain possession with 8 on the shot clock as Thomas will inbound underneath. Gets it to Kleiner. To Hahn. Back to Kleiner with 2. With 1. She just gets it off, but it's an air ball miss by Kleiner. Second shot clock violation committed by the Lady Reds tonight. And a home winning streak, a record now for the Lady Reds. They've won 13 in a row dating back to last season. And we get inside, and the turnaround shot by Shea. She was fouled before the shot.
Carthage foul, number 20, Kleiner.
Kleiner picking up the foul, her first. First on the Reds here in the second half. And we got a legal screen on the stack for the inbound.
Bell's foul, number 30, Kanapke. Her third personal foul.
Krista Kanapke picking up the foul. That is her third. We're setting up the stack on the right block, and she slid into Hahn that time, committing the foul. Her third on Kanapke. Thomas now, in front of her own bench. Picked up the dribble. Cross-court feed to Quinn on the left wing. Drives in left side. Going strong to the basket and knocked out of her hand by Shea. Now Kohler will bring it across. And we got a shot clock issue here. Did not reset. So we got down to 23 seconds. They get it reset here. So it didn't reset after that last steal by the Bells. So 18 and a half minutes to go here in our second half, I should say. 43-18 in favor of the Lady Reds as the Bells inbound. Kohler with it. Works it off to Paul. Back up top to Shea. Shea high on the right wing, guarded by Kleiner. Works it off to Paul. Back up top. Driving Diamond. Had it stripped out of her hand. Thomas comes away with it. Thomas into the offensive end for the Lady Reds. Feeds Hahn low right, going strong to the basket. Overlaid as she was trying to draw contact by Kanapke. And a loose ball picked up by Elena Paul. Kohler now between the rings. Works the dribble. Guarded by Thomas. Lost control of it, and Thomas comes away with another steal. Aaron Thomas with a couple of steals here to start this second half for the Lady Reds. Boardman way up top. Now driving and contact, and we got an offensive foul on Boardman as she tried to dish that one into the corner to Quinn. Ran right over Kanapke that time. And commits her second foul. Second on the Lady Reds here in the half. Kohler walks it across. Gets it back in the hands of Shea. Kleiner on her. Now works it off to Ariana Paul. Right baseline shot no good. Rebound Hahn. Clears it out to Quinn. Quinn across midcourt. Works it out to Kleiner. High in the right wing. Into the right corner to Quinn. Back to Kleiner. Reversing to Hahn. Now fires it inside to Boardman as she broke free from Diamond. And lays it up and in. Taylor Boardman with 12 points tonight. 6 for 6 from the floor for Boardman. 45-18. First points of the second half here for the Lady Reds. Now backing in. Turnaround left-hand shot. Partially blocked. Kanapke that time. Had it knocked out of her hand. Quinn now will bring it across. Sets it up offensively to Kleiner on the left wing. Back up top, Thomas. Deep three by Aaron Thomas. Rattles off no good. Hahn with the offensive board. And the stick back rolls off no good. Oh, Hahn got a nice position inside that time on Kanapke. And her follow through on the putback effort. A little too much English on the ball that time. Now it's loose inside. And it goes out of bounds off a Lady Red player. Might have been Boardman who was last to touch it underneath. And so possession retained here by the Bells as Morgan Harris will check in, replacing Aaron Thomas for the Lady Reds. Bells will inbound left of the basket. They get it back up top to Maddie Kohler. Kohler feeds top of the key to Diamond. Her jump shot there, no good. Rebound Paul, stick back no. Rebound Morgan Harris, and she was fouled getting to that loose ball left of the paint. Ariana Paul making contact with Morgan Harris, commits the foul, her second. Second on the team. Reds basketball, 4 minutes into our second half, leading 45-18. Harris guarded by Kohler, picked up the dribble. Now finds Quinn. Quinn on the drive, penetrates down low to Boardman, goes up with a shot and draws the foul. Quinn able to find Boardman low left, who drew the foul. Ariana Paul with the foul, her third. And Taylor Boardman on the free throw line where she is 0 for 1 tonight. Makes the first of two. Boardman leads the team in trips to the line this season. 50% from the line, able to hit both that time. 14 points tonight for Taylor Boardman. 47-18, Reds in control. Now Kohler, a little fadeaway shot, that's no good. Morgan Harris clears the rebound for the Lady Reds. In traffic, up to Quinn across midcourt. Gets to Hahn. Hahn now on the drive. There was contact, banks it in. She collided with Ariana Paul. There was no call, and Hahn still able to make the basket, able to bank it in. First points of the night for Alexis Hahn. 49-18. Now whistle and a foul inside. I believe Boardman. Nope, we're going to call it on Kleiner. Kleiner with the reach that time. Her second, third on the team here in the half as Allison Riley will check in for Taylor Boardman. Boardman, a perfect night from the floor, 6 for 6, 12 points tonight. 14 points, I should say, for Boardman. Now Paul on the penetration, hit the bottom of the rim with her shot. Rebound cleared out by Hahn to Kleiner. 5 minutes into our second half. 49-18, Reds in control. Riley top of the circle. Finds Hahn down low with the over-the-top feed, and she'll lay it in. Alexis Hahn with the bucket, and a timeout taken by the Bells. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take a break as well. 14:45 to play. 51-18, Reds in front of the Bells. Back after this on 1050 WLIP. Reds in front, 51-18. Should they hang on to win here, they will take on University of St. Thomas. 9-0 Tommies defeated Manchester earlier tonight, 73-41 in the championship game tomorrow. It would be at 4 o'clock, and again, it's free admission for this tournament. So if you're out and about looking for some family activities, come on down to the Tarble Arena. There'll be 2 games tomorrow, a 2 o'clock and a 4 o'clock, with the winner of this game facing St. Thomas at 4 o'clock tomorrow evening. Nationally ranked St. Thomas, 8th ranked in Division III. Shot taken by Paul, the rebound pulled in by Alexis Hahn. Bells still looking for their first points of the second half. They trail 51-18. Now Riley's pass taken away by Paul. Paul down the floor, left side. Pulls up on Harris, missed the layup. Ball tipped. Riley able to take it for the Lady Reds. Got away with a walk. She flagged that one down, but hands it off to Quinn. Reds 8-0 run here to start this second half. Harris strong to the basket, drew the foul. Morgan Harris driving in from the right side, saw an opening and took it right to the rim, able to draw the foul. Kanapke picking up the foul, her fourth. So Kanapke coming into the game averaging 11 points, held scoreless here tonight. Picks up her fourth foul as Harris at the free throw line, missing on the front end of 2. Morgan Harris out of Hersey High School. Has appeared in all 10 games off the bench for the Lady Reds. 6 for 13 from the line thus far. Second free throw on the way is good. 1 for 2 for Harris, 52-18. Reds in front. 13:40 to play. Driving out of the corner with it. There's Shea. Shea lost control of it, picked up by Kohler, and then was stripped right out by Riley. Riley triple team, trying to look for some help. Lost the basketball. Got it back inside. Shot missed by Shea. Loose ball in the paint. Thomas trying to hang on for a held ball, and we got a foul on Moyer. Tiffany Moyer picking up the foul. Her second, the fifth on the Bells, and Moyer is down on the floor in the paint. So play halted here with 13:25 remaining. And 3 players dove after that loose ball. Aaron Thomas and Moyer wrestling for it. I think Moyer got stretched a little awkwardly diving for that loose ball and is back up under her own power, walking back to the Bells bench. That's a good sign. She will sit down, and her head coach, Jennifer Henley, talking with her briefly. Bells held scoreless here in this second half. So Carthage will bring it in full length. Pasigan in now. Heather Pasigan, the sophomore out of St. Louis, Missouri, replaces Moyer. As they get it inside to Hahn. Hahn was fouled before the shot. Foul's going to go on Shea. That is her second. 6th on the Bells. Since it was before the shot and only the 6th team foul, the Reds will inbound left of the basket. Harris into Thomas for 3. That barely drew iron. Thomas didn't follow it up, and the easy rebound by Gabi Diamond. Spelled G-A-B-B-Y, but talking with their head coach Jennifer Henley, she said it's Gabi Diamond. As they work it inside, and there's your first points. They held them scoreless for over 7 minutes, and Shea gets the layup inside. 52-20. Shea tonight with 11 points. Riley now, left wing, gets it to Cunningham. Cunningham guarded heavily by Diamond, and then fouled on the play by Diamond as she tried to dish it back out to Thomas. So the 7th team foul here on St. Mary's, and that will put Ashley Cunningham on the free throw line for the Lady Reds. Cunningham able to make the first of 2. We said 10th appearance of the season, all off the bench, averaging about 9 minutes a game, Ashley Cunningham. Second free throw no good. Rebound pulled in by the Bells. 53-20. 33-point Reds lead. On the drive, Shea going to the basket, lays it up with the right hand. Shea with 13 points tonight. As we said, one of the players here to keep an eye on tonight. She's hit her season average. 11 points per game coming in, 13 tonight. Cunningham pull-up jumper in the paint missing. Hahn able to grab the rebound, and then had it poked out from behind, and it's stripped out and picked up by Pasigan. So get it off to Kohler. Kohler now with it on the left wing, able to drive to the free throw line, back to Pasigan, throws up with the one hand, no. Rebound, Riley, I should say, with the rebound for the Lady Reds. She'll hand it off to Morgan Harris. 11 and a half minutes to go, 53-22. Reds led from the get-go here tonight. Opened up a 17-1 run to start the ball game and never looked back. Harris now drifts off right of the free throw line. Cunningham tried to look for Riley, overthrew her and turned it over. Be a different story tomorrow night against St. Thomas. Actually, tomorrow afternoon at 4, as Riley will exit. Boardman back in for the Reds. nationally ranked 8th in the nation, St. Thomas, off to a 9-0 start. They blew out Manchester in the first game tonight, 73-41. Again, that's a 4 o'clock tip. Boardman with a block on the shot attempt that time by Diamond. Harris across midcourt for the Lady Reds. Gave up the dribble, hands it off to Thomas. Aaron Thomas will circle back. 15 on the shot clock. Works it off to Cunningham. Now to Hahn. Hahn got poked in the eye. Oh, she got poked in the right eye.
That was foul. Number 24, Ronan, her first personal foul.
Ronan trying to go for that pass. Poked Riley in the eye, and she is in some discomfort on the floor. On her feet, but oh, that just, you see that? Oh, it just hurts just looking at that. Poked in the left eye. Hahn's okay. She's going to get to the free throw line here. Bonus free throw on the way, no good. Rebound pulled in by Diamond. 53-22. Jump shot taken that time by Shea, but the ensuing rebound. Pasigan commits the foul. We're already in the bonus. 9 fouls now on St. Mary's. Vukovic will check in for Hahn, as Hahn will have that eye looked at. It's going to swell up, I'm sure. So Aaron Thomas will head to the free throw line. This will be 1-1 for Aaron Thomas. Thomas tonight, 7 points. 2 for 4 from the floor, 2 of 4 from the stripe. Make it 2 of 5 as she missed the front end. Well, it's surprising the Reds have struggled from the line this year. 9 for 18 now tonight. Back the other way. Moyer able to finish. 53-24. 10:15 to play here in the ball game. Carthage trying to play hard here. They realize we'll start seeing Reds empty the bench here. Boardman inside, counted and one as she was fouled going to the basket. Taylor Boardman, a 7 for 7 night from the floor. Ariana Paul commits the foul, her 4th. And that will put Boardman on the line to complete the 3-point play.
Into the Bells lineup, number 32, Shea. And number 30, Kanapke.
Shea and Kanapke back in. Kanapke with 4 fouls. Paul with 4 fouls. And Boardman on the line, missing on the, but Vukovic able to get the offensive rebound, and the stick back goes down for the freshman out of Mukwonago. Morgan Vukovic with 6 points tonight, a season best for her. And back the other way, quickly underneath, we got a foul called as Paul, trying to go up right side, draws the foul. Ashley Cunningham commits the foul, her 1st. 4th on the team, and Paul on the line for 2. Ariana Paul missing. 7 points tonight for Paul, half of her season average, coming in averaging 15 points, 10 rebounds. Paul held to 7 points, 6 boards tonight. Able to make the 2nd. 8 points tonight for Ariana Paul, 57-25. Harris now kicks it back, right wing Thomas for 3, rattles in. Aaron Thomas off the dribble drive from Harris, give the assist to Harris. Thomas with the triple. 10 points tonight for Thomas, another strong ball game for Aaron Thomas. 60-25. Her 3rd straight double-digit performance. And lean in with the right hand goes down for Moyer. Timothy Moyer with 4 points. 60-27. 9:10 to play. Aaron Thomas, transfer from Loyola, kicks it to Harris. 3 on the way, right corner, and it's no good. Rebound pulled in by Paul, and it was stripped out by Cunningham. And the Bells will retain possession in the backcourt as Boardman will leave. A nice hand for Taylor Boardman tonight. 7 for 7 from the floor, 16 points for Taylor Boardman. So you've got Thomas, Harris, Cunningham, Riley, and Vukovic out there right now for the Lady Reds. Moyer in the paint, fires and draws the foul.
Carthage foul, number 14, Harris, her second personal foul.
Morgan Harris picking up the foul for the Lady Reds. Her second. Now we'll put Moyer on the line, shooting 2 for the Bells. Moyer out of Rancho Santa Fe, California. Able to hit the front end. 5 points tonight for Moyer. Second one on the way. That one skips off the rim, no good. Rebound, Ashley Cunningham. 8:45 to go. 60-28 Lady Reds. Harris will set it up across midcourt. Works it off to Thomas again for 3, and again it goes down for Aaron Thomas. 13 points tonight for Aaron Thomas. (63-28). Now the pass broken up inside by Ashley Cunningham. Harris will run the floor. Harris across midcourt, waits for traffic to clear. Gets it off to Riley on the left wing. Up top to Cunningham. Looking for Vukovic, and it was thrown away. Good idea by Ashley Cunningham. She was trying to lead Vukovic into the paint, but pass too strong as Aaron Thomas gets a nice hand exiting the ball game. We'll get our first look tonight at Mandy Hosian. Hosian, a sophomore of Lincoln Way West, a 5'9" sophomore. As a set shot that time by Ariana Paul was no good. The rebound pulled in by Morgan Harris. 63-28 Reds, 7:45 to play. Winner takes on St. Thomas tomorrow afternoon at 4. Cunningham lost it in the paint, stripped out of there by Ariana Paul. Paul still playing hard. I give her credit. She's a frustrated evening here tonight. 20-footer there, no good. Rebound, Morgan Harris. Able to take it away inside from Shea. Harris to Hosian, going up strong, draws the foul. A little late trying to take the charge that time was Pasigan. That is her 4th. Double bonus here as Hosian will go to the free throw line. Able to hit the front end. Mandy Hosian, her 3rd appearance of the season. Makes her first free throw of the year. Second one on the way, good. 2 for 2 for Mandy, 65-28. Now the Bells set it up. They work it inside, driving the basket, missing. Ball goes out of bounds off of Vukovic. And so the Bells will retain possession underneath. Riley Robinson out there, a freshman from Wheaton. And that one roll off, and now they're going to talk about it here. Abby Bickle and Mark Rapinski having a discussion. They'll reset the shot clock. So the Bells will inbound in the offensive end with a fresh 30. Moyer with it. Deep jump shot out of the left corner. That's no good. Rebound pulled in by Allison Riley. She'll run the floor. Riley down the left wing. Will circle back. Now drives the basket. Goes hard. Had a block. Stripped out by Konopke that time. Looked like a clean strip there. Is back the other way, going up and committing a foul, or getting fouled, I should say, is Robinson. She will go to the line. And committing the foul was Cunningham, her 2nd. The 6th on the Reds as a team. And Molly Robinson at the free throw line for St. Mary's. Robinson in just her 4th game of the year. 5 for 11 now as she makes that free throw. 5 for 11 on the season from the stripe. Second one up and in. Robinson 2 for 2. 65-30, Reds in front. We approach 6.5 minutes to go. Cunningham off to Hosian, to Morgan Harris for three straight on. Got it. Morgan Harris with the triple from the top of the circle. 4 points tonight for Harris. 68-30. And inside, Molly Robinson off the left block and in. Robinson now with 4 points. 68-32, under 6 minutes to go. Hosian with it. We got a whistle and a foul as she dished that one off.
Bell's foul, number 30, Kanapke.
Krista Kanapke committing the foul. That is her fifth. So she is fouled out. So Kanapke exits the game here. Did not score tonight. 0 for 2 from the floor. Collected 3 rebounds. Again, this is an 11.7 board per game player. Held scoreless here tonight. As she fouls out, Hosian on the free throw line for the Reds. Double bonus here, missing on the front end. Missed them both, and the rebound pulled in by Robinson. Remains 68-32, Reds. 5:45 to play. Turnaround shot in the paint, too strong. Shot taken that time by Diamond. Still loose inside, and it's taken away by Allison Riley. Riley down the floor for the Reds. Gets it off to Morgan Harris. All alone for three. Missed. Hosian with the offensive board. Drives the basket and lays it in. Hosian for the 4 points, and back the other way come the Shea, and she's able to hit the basket for the Bells. Shea with 15 points tonight, the only bright spot here for St. Mary's. 70-34. Hosian fires one up, no good. Rebound pulled in by the Bells. Ariana Paul with the rebound. And we got a whistle and a foul committed by Morgan Harris. Tried to take the charge, but was still moving her feet as Shea was driving the basket. That'll put Shea on the free throw line. Each team in the bonus now the rest of the way out. Shea missing at the line. Boy, she's had an active night tonight. 7 of 9 from the line, 4 of 10 from the floor. For her 15 points, the only player in double figures for the Bells. Able to make the second. 16 on the night. 35-point lead here for the Reds with under 5 minutes to go. Lady Reds are going to get to 7-3 on the season. They will face St. Thomas tomorrow afternoon. Again, free admission tomorrow for both games. It starts at 2. So again, if you're looking for some family activity, come on down to the Tarble Arena. Couple of ball games tomorrow. Manchester and St. Mary's to kick things off at 2, followed by the Lady Reds and nationally ranked St. Thomas of the Twin Cities, the University of St. Thomas Tommies. Riley fouled on the play by Robinson, so Allison Riley on the line for 2, able to knock in the first of the double bonus. Allison Riley with 5 points tonight. Lefty's second free throw up and in. She will come out. As coming in now, Amanda Genge will check in, the 5'7" senior out of Chicago. Good to see Amanda in the ball game here. Again, she came down with a little bit of a virus down at St. Petersburg, Florida during the tournament, and saw some action in the Wells game and wasn't quite 100%. Out there now for the Lady Reds with 4 minutes to go here. Harris now will bring it back across. Harris also into the game for the Reds. Taylor Benninghaus to Hosian. Hosian had it taken away. Stripped out of there by Sarah Macius. Macius down the floor. Pulls up in the paint and hits. Sarah Macius into the scorebook tonight, the junior out of Inverness, Illinois. 72-37. Lady Reds comfortably in front. Harris going to the basket, draws the foul, and she'll get to the line to shoot two. Robinson picking up the foul, her second, and Morgan Harris at the free throw line for the Reds. Harris 1 for 2 tonight. Able to knock down the front end.
In your Carthage lineup, number 40, Lexi Miranda.
Lexi Miranda will check in for Morgan Harris here to this free throw. Now she'll check in for Morgan Harris. Harris with 6 points tonight. Good outing for Morgan Harris. She continues to develop as a freshman here at Carthage. 3.5 minutes to go, 74-37. So the win streak gets to 14 here at home. As Robinson able to finish low left. Robinson having quite the back end here. She's got 6 points here in the second half. Benninghouse looks inside to Vukovic. Turnaround shot in the paint, off the glass and down. Vukovic with a strong outing tonight as well. 8 points tonight for Morgan Vukovic. And we got a whistle and a foul on the run up down the right baseline.
Carthage foul, number 40, Miranda, her first personal foul, 8th foul.
Miranda picks up the foul. Lexi Miranda, the 5'5" freshman guard out of Peru St. Betty Academy.
Into the Bells lineup, number 50, Patterson.
At the free throw line,
Number 5,
Heather Pessigan, and Pessigan able to hit the first of two. And the rebound pulled in by Benninghouse off the missed free throw. Alanta Slowick in now, the freshman from Park Ridge for the Reds. Slowick will fire up from the free throw line. It curls off, no good. Benninghouse with the offensive board and the stick back. Taylor Benninghouse with the bucket. Her first points of the game. Robinson missed, got her own rebound, sticks it back up. Shea missing. Loose inside, still battling for it, and it's taken away by the Lady Reds. Miranda. Lexi Miranda able to take it away. Lexi tried to find Vukovic, but it was intercepted in the paint by Heather Pessigan. Pessigan down the floor quickly to Shea. Shea inside was fouled. So with 2:18 to play, Lenny Shea will go to the free throw line. Shea with 16 points tonight to lead her team in scoring. Missing the front end. 8 for 11 now from the stripe. Amber Roberts in now for the Lady Reds, a 5'11" freshman out of Woodstock, Illinois. Missed them both. Benninghouse with the rebound. Robertson just her second game in a Lady Reds uniform. As the pass goes out of bounds. Roberts got some action. Waning minutes in the game against Wells College a week ago Saturday. Wells now will counter with some substitutions. Gabby Crown, a freshman from Middletown, New York, in now for St. Mary's. Final 2 minutes here in Kenosha. Lady Reds dominating from start to finish here tonight. Got off to a 17-1 start in the first half through the first 6.5 minutes and never looked back as Genge on the pass-off was fouled. She will go to the free throw line. Megan Hussey, freshman of Elmhurst, picks up the foul for the Bells. They'll put Amanda Genge at the free throw line. Genge able to hit the first. Her first trip to the line this season. And nails the second. 2 for 2 for Genge. Reds hit 80. They double up on the Bells here. 80-40. high water mark of the year for the Reds as far as points is concerned. Right now, the 40 points given up, fewest since they gave up 35 to Wells and 41 to La Crosse back on the 22nd. As at the free throw line here for the Bells is Macius, and Macius misses the front end. That last foul on Amber Roberts, her first. Second free throw attempt here for Macius is short. Benninghouse again with another rebound for the Lady Reds, making the most of her second half appearance here as Slowick will take it across. Final 90 here. Roberts top of the circle. Works underneath the Benninghouse. Turnaround shot off the left block. Banks it in. Taylor Benninghouse with her first points tonight. And work it inside, back out. They're going to attempt a two. Deep off the wing. No good. Rebound Genge. She tried to get it off to Miranda, but it was deflected out of bounds by Robinson of the Bells. So Carthage will retain possession here with 65 seconds to play. Well, the Reds will have their work cut out for them tomorrow. A very tall St. Thomas team will be the opponent. They have 6 players at 6 foot or better. As Benninghouse hits again, 6 points tonight for Taylor Benninghouse. 84-40. Good defensive work by Roberts inside to deny the shot by Robinson. Now in the drive through the paint, overlaying that time was Macius. The rebound out to Alanta Slowick. E will pull up at the free throw line, and it rattles around and down. Slowick, her first points tonight. 86-40, and then back the other way. Molly Robinson beating everyone back with the layup. Now the Reds will just dribble it out. Final 17 seconds here tonight. A dominating win here for the Lady Reds to go to 7-3 on the season. As they like to shoot. That time it was Miranda taking the shot. Final 2 seconds here, and that'll do it. As the shot comes up short by Gabby Crown, and the Reds pick up an 86-42 victory over the Bells of St. Mary's. For the Reds now 7-3 on the year. The Bells fall to 3-8 on the season. So your matchups tomorrow, it'll be St. Mary's College against Manchester at 2 o'clock, and it'll be the Lady Reds at 7-3 taking on 8th-ranked 9-0 St. Thomas here at the Tarble Arena at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Once again, your final here from the Tarble Arena, Carthage 86, St. Mary's 42. We'll pause, take a 2-minute break, back to run the final numbers and visit with head coach Tim Bernero in our postgame here from the Tarble Arena right after this 2-minute timeout on AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. Your final tonight, Carthage 86, St. Mary's 42, and dominating on both ends of the floor here tonight as the Reds jumped out to a 17-1 advantage in the first half, outscoring the Bells 17-1 in the first 6.5 minutes of tonight's ball game, and then in the second half, holding the Bells scoreless for nearly 7 minutes to start the second half, getting it done defensively, holding the Bells to a season-low 25% shooting tonight, and that is also a season low for the Reds defensively tonight. So Carthage getting it done on both ends of the floor in dominating fashion, winning the ball game tonight by a score of 86-42. Reds shoot 58% tonight, 30 of 51. They were 9 of 20 from behind the arc and 17 of 29 from the stripe. They out-rebound the Bells 45-29 in dominating fashion once again, and led from the get-go. As I said, jumped out to a 17-1 advantage through the first 6.5 minutes tonight, led by as many as 46 here in the final minute to pick up the victory here tonight. Meanwhile, St. Mary's held a 25% shooting, attempted only one three-point attempt, and was 14 of 23, 61% from the free throw line. Reds put 3 players in double figures tonight, led by Taylor Boardman. Boardman a perfect 7 for 7 from the floor tonight for her 16 points. 15 points, I should say, for Casey Kleiner. Kleiner was 5 of 8 from the floor, all 5 3-point attempts made in the first half for her 15 tonight. Erin Thomas, another strong performance offensively for the Lady Reds. 13 points. It's her 3rd straight game with 10 or more points coming on here for the Lady Reds after a very poor start to her season for the Reds as far as her shooting is concerned. Starting to find it now. She was 4 of 8 from the floor, including 3 from long distance. She finished with 13 tonight. Other scores for the Lady Reds: 8 points from Morgan Vukovic. That's a season best for Vukovic, the freshman coming off the bench. Another perfect night for Vukovic, 3 for 3 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the stripe for her 8 points. So a great advantage here for the Reds as far as the bench scoring tonight, as Vukovic led the bench in scoring with 8, 6 for Taylor Benninghouse, 6 for Allison Riley. Morgan Harris with 6 points off the bench tonight, 4 points for Mandy Hosian, 2 points each for Ashley Cunningham and Amanda Genge. Alexis Hahn saddled with early foul trouble, never really got going tonight, finished with 4 points, all coming in the second half. Erin Quinn, 2 points tonight. She continues to battle back from that shoulder strain that she's had here for the last 3 weeks or so. So it's a work in progress here for the Reds, but I think for the Lady Reds, they got what they wanted to accomplish here tonight, and that was to dominate this ball game early, take any thought that the Bells might have of upsetting the Reds on their home floor away from St. Mary's here tonight. St. Mary's with just 1 player in double figures tonight. That was Eleni Shea with 16 points. She was 4 of 13 from the floor, 8 of 12 from the free throw line, 16 points tonight. The storyline here is the Reds held Ariana Paul, a 15-10 average coming in, to just 8 points on the floor and 8 rebounds for Paul tonight. And they held Krista Kanapke scoreless tonight on 0 of 2 shooting. Kanapke coming into this game, one of their leading scorers, second leading scorer at 11 points per ball game. So, as I said, the Reds dominating here in early fashion, put away the Bells early, gave them nothing in the second half. It took nearly 7 minutes before they got their first field goal in the second half. And as I said, last couple of ball games now for the Reds, they have really gotten it together defensively, as they held Wells College to just 30% shooting in the victory over Wells, 69-35, and follow that up holding the St. Mary's Bells to just 25% from the field tonight, and dominating 86-42 victory over the Bells of St. Mary's. Reds now at 7-3 on the season. One more non-conference game. That will be tomorrow afternoon, a 4 o'clock tip. And again, it's free admission for those of you out in the Kenosha community and within my voice over the air on WLIP and on the stream. Come on out and enjoy Reds basketball. No admission charge for the tournament games tomorrow, so you can catch both games. 2 o'clock, St. Mary's and Manchester, followed up by what will be an intriguing matchup between the Carthage Lady Reds and the 8th-ranked 9-0 Tommies of the University of St. Thomas out of Minneapolis. And again, that game will get underway at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Joined now by head basketball coach Tim Bernero as we get him settled into our Pullman Motors broadcast booth. And congratulations, Coach, a dominating win here tonight.
I got lost coming over here. I was looking on the other side and thought maybe we got bumped for Dennis Miller. I know there's no Monday Night Football tonight, but it's too early for Bill Lawrence to be in, so maybe.
Maybe.
Thanks, John.
86-42. I was just saying, I know you're happy with the point production on the offensive end here over the last couple of ball games, but I think you've got to be more excited about the defensive effort. You held Wells to 30%, 35% shooting, and the last time out, you held the Bells here tonight to 25% from the floor.
Yeah, and it's a the combination of the kids' effort and using their knowledge of the game with some of the information we can get from film and work through in practice. This is what you hope happens. I mean, they're in the they were, especially in the first half, we took a lot of stuff away from them. You know, we were a little unfortunate with Hahn and getting in some foul trouble, but we kind of knew that's how they were going to play. They were going to barrel into the basket. You could see the second half, it got kind of scrummish out there. There was a lot of stuff going on. You know, we had one poked in the eye and a few other things, but, you know, it was just kind of, the way they choose to play, they didn't shoot the three, and that's, like we said before the game, John, it's an odd, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that, you know, most people try to space the floor and do that. They condense the floor, so if you're standing up to the physicalness within the lane, and it got pretty physical, you can make it difficult for people to make shots, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that most of the night.
Yeah, you handled their leading scorers very well. You held Ariana Paul, their leading scorer, coming in at 15-10 average, 15 points, 10 rebounds. She was held to 8 points, 8 boards here tonight.
Yeah, and you know, that was the one thing that concerned me about them, is because their size across the board, other than the kids that play the point guard, they're running different people to the post. So we had Kleiner had to guard a post. You know, she's not necessarily in that spot. Erin Quinn did a good job on Paul, the leading scorer. She was assigned that one. We knew she could handle that physically, and she bothered her. She got the one call in the first half that was, you know, so she kind of wrapped her up when she was fronting her, which we didn't want her to do. But, you know, she was fighting her for every inch. You know, I think a couple of the baskets she got were on me, because when we got in a little foul trouble in the first half, we switched to the zone, even though it was after they called a timeout, and I think it was 15-1. You know, we were guarding them just fine, obviously giving them 1 point, but we switched to the zone to try to protect, because I needed to get Hahn back in the game for more minutes. And once we did, you know, she had a couple of those mid-range elbow jumpers, and that's where she got her baskets, it seemed like, especially in the first half.
Exactly, and I'm more impressed with your defensive effort here tonight. Again, for a team that likes to post the ball down and as you say, play a condensed type of game, I feel the defensive effort is what really won this ball game. A 17-1 run to start the game, but you held them scoreless for almost 8 minutes in that start of the second half.
Yeah, and it was encouraging, you know, because it's hard to play. You know, it's a good problem to have. It's hard to play when you're up 25 at halftime, because human nature, the kids start going, well, you know, I'm not going to be out there very long, and this game's kind of decided, and they're not, you know, they're kind of looking for their buddies to get on the floor and cheer for them, which is a great thing. But the focus of just keep doing the same thing. You know, I wrote something on the board before the game. Every possession matters for 40 minutes. And I think you said something when we were in Florida. I want to coach the last possession too, because it's important to the 5 kids that are on the floor, and that's something they have to understand. And you know, so to be able to shut them down early in the second half, that just kind of really sealed it, and then we could kind of give everybody a chance to get on the floor.
A couple of players stood out here. I know Boardman led the team in scoring, 7 for 7 from the floor, all coming from underneath for 16, and Kleiner able to hit her three-pointers again. She has been red hot. Casey Kleiner, 5 for 7 on the three-pointer, pushes her season average, shooting average behind the three to almost 49%.
Yeah, she's been great. The kids are, you know, like you said before, we're starting to get the rhythm of things. Her and Thomas are starting to work together really well, because Aaron's finding Casey in spots in places. Obviously, Quinn's played with her for 3 years, so she knows where she's at, and the kids know that they get her open off a screen or off a penetration. She's been it seems like she's been 5 for 7 in the last 3 games, you know, each game. So, you know, that's a great weapon for us, you know, to get things started. And she kind of threw a haymaker in the first half, hitting 3 after 3, and Taylor was really good. And again, this is one, you know, where you make decisions for big picture, because we could have left her out there for more and she could have got 20 or 25 points. But, you know, the immediacy of playing tomorrow at 4 o'clock is really important, and that's obviously a very important game to us. And you know, once the game was in hand, Casey and Aaron Quinn and Taylor didn't need to be out there. It was an interesting situation, because Hahn could be out there because of foul trouble, and she only played 4 minutes, so she needed to play more in the second half to get a little good feeling for her, get her some shots, get her some rhythm.
I thought another solid game for Erin Thomas. We talked about her in the pregame, trying to get her shooting numbers up. You'll take 4 of 8, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, and 13 points. I think that's her third straight game of 10 or more points.
Right, 13 points. The one you always love to see from your point guard. 5 assists, no turnovers. That's great. You know, we'll get pressed tomorrow, so that's nice that she's feeling good about that. She got 4 defensive rebounds. You know, she's really kind of finding her groove right now, and that's a great thing for us. It's we needed that, and and they're all coming along. Harris did a great job. She had 6 rebounds. She's a little, height-wise, the littlest kid on the floor for us, but she ripped one in the second half, ripped it out of about 3 kids' hands in a pile, and all of a sudden here comes 14 with the ball out of there, and you're like, all right, here we go.
That was another player we talked about down in Florida, and both on and off the court we had a conversation about her, and that is we knew she could score. Coming out of high school, we knew her offensive game was set, and talking with her parents and especially her dad, talking about building up her defensive effort, and she's really worked on that, and you could see that here again tonight when you look at the stat sheet, the 6 rebounds and how she pulled that one out of there, just getting stronger as each game goes.
She's going to be a fun one for the next 4 years because she's still in that mode where she's, sometimes she's thinking like, should I be doing this? And once she gets instinctive and just goes, she can go to the basket. She can make, she hasn't shot the 3 great, but she made one tonight, so that'll boost her confidence a little bit. And she's a good passer, and she's a tough kid. I mean, I think she's learning how we defend and do different things. But her parents are both athletes, so they get it. They're not, it's funny, they're kind of hard on her, more than I am, but and I think she's just got to kind of get relax and be herself, be her, her personality, let that come out and just let her go play.
Well, tomorrow, this is going to be a tough one tomorrow, folks. I mean, you got a 9-0 St. Thomas team. I think they have 5 players at 6 foot or taller, and we saw them press Manchester tonight and really blew Manchester out of the gym here early in that ball game, and this will be a really good test going into conference against a taller, athletic, and langy team in St. Thomas.
Their individual players are, the Dr. kid at the point and Weiser, the post player, are all-American quality players. So anytime you start with your point guard, your post player being that good, and then they fill them in with a bunch of kids that can shoot the 3. They've got length, and their post players are not. They're active. They're driving, slashing, rebounding, shooting. They do everything. And they play at a high pace. So the transition game is important to them. They press. The one thing I told our kids after the game, and obviously we're in all intention to win the game tomorrow, is that we'll be better after tomorrow's game, and we want to be better with a win. I mean, no matter what happens, playing that game is going to help us for the next 14 CCIW games and hopefully beyond. But these are fun games to play, and I think they've got a great program. I think they have a lot of respect for us and for our program, and I think it should be a heck of a game, and we'll see. I mean, the thing that when you look at their roster and their lineup, it's senior. They throw a junior in there every once in a while and a couple freshmen to kind of clean things up. But that's what senior teams are. They're tested. They've won a lot of games. They play at a high efficiency, and you've got to be able to take that on head on. And if we do that, we'll be way better after tomorrow's game, and we expect to figure out a way. It's funny because they play fast in transition. They play aggressively, defensively, pressing and stuff like that. But they've played a lot of low-scoring games too. That game tonight was kind of dragging through the first half, and they've played games in the 50s and 60s. We probably benefit keeping it more in that range than having it be in a game in the 70s or 80s. But if they push us to the basket and the press, we'll take it. We've done that, over time, and we had a little trouble with it earlier in the year, so we'll see how we handle it tomorrow. But we expect. We've been working on it, and we knew when we got to this game that's how they're going to play, so it'll be a great test.
Should be a great atmosphere. Hopefully the community turns out. And again, free admission tomorrow for both tournament games, and an opportunity for the community to come on out and take in what is like an NCAA tournament game between Carthage and St. Thomas tomorrow.
Right. They're a top 10 team. I mean, they're 8th or 6th or whatever. I can't remember what it were in the polls, but 9-0, and they've been in the same places we've been the last 6-8 years in the Sweet 16s and in final or Elite 8s and that stuff, and I think they've been to a Final Four or two. So it's these are the games when you set the schedules. You circle a couple, and this will be a good one. And we feel real good in our building, and people usually have to come in and play pretty well to beat us in our own building. So, and obviously they're capable of that. So it's a good game to play.
Streak now to what, 14?
Something like that.
14 straight?
Yeah, I think 14 straight home games, and that's what you expect to do. All sports teams, football, basketball, whatever, you defend your home court, and then you go get half or more on the road, and you have a good season. So we want to we're 3-0 this year, and I think whatever we ran off the end last year, so we want to keep that going. That because sometimes that becomes you get that out there, it becomes a mental thing for the other team. They go, hey, they don't lose at home, and that's what we want them thinking, and that's what we know we've got our kids thinking that way.
Should be a great ball game. 4 o'clock tip tomorrow. Carthage and the University of St. Thomas for the championship of the Carthage Classic. The Reds with a win here tonight. Coach, congratulations. Nice win tonight.
Thanks, John.
Head coach Tim Bernero joining us on our post game as the Lady Reds post a victory tonight by a final of 86-42. The final here tonight, as the Reds hold the Bells to just 25% shooting tonight on 14 of 55 from the floor, while shooting 58% for the ball game themselves. And Carthage getting 3 players in double figures. Taylor Boardman with 16, Casey Kleiner, the senior out of Shoreland Lutheran, with 15, and it was Aaron Thomas with 13 tonight to pave the way for the Lady Reds, their 7th win of the season, now 7-3 on the year. They will get set to take on the University of St. Thomas, 8th ranked in the latest D3Hoops.com poll. The Tommies at 9-0 tomorrow, and that'll be a 4 o'clock tip. We'll be with you here on the broadcast on 1050 WLIP beginning at 3:45 tomorrow afternoon when the Lady Reds host the Tommies of the University of St. Thomas. The 2 o'clock game will feature Manchester and St. Mary's, and again, both games admission free. So come on out, support the Lady Reds tomorrow in what would be a tournament-type ball game against St. Thomas. My thanks tonight to a couple of special people. John Voinovich for producing our video stream here tonight. Mike Love also involved with that. Scott DeLabio, our studio engineer at WLIP, engineering our audio portion of our broadcast tonight. We thank him very much, and I thank you for tuning in. John Weiser saying thanks for listening to Carthage Lady Reds basketball tonight as the Reds post an 86-42 victory over St. Mary's. We'll join you tomorrow at 3:45 for exciting Lady Reds basketball when the Lady Reds take on St. Thomas tomorrow afternoon, right here on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050, WLIP Kenosha. Good night, everyone.